everyone, today I thought it would be fun to do one of these berry designs from this Rita Berman book, Die Welt Unter der Lupe Lande. Now if you don't have this book, you can still use the ideas for any sort of berries that you might like to colour. I've picked out this slightly smaller design to start with. I may go on and do the rest of the page as a series, but today my plan is just to do this one and just to see how it all goes really. I'm using these pencils. These are my Polycolors, sorry, caught the light there. They're the koh-i-nor ones. I only have 12, but I just am in the mood for not making lots of colour choices. So we just have these, and that should be plenty, I think, for this small design. As we, you know, all the leaves will be the same and all the berries will be the same, so it should be fine. I'm going to start with my darkest green. If you have the Polycolors, you will want to know the names. This is called dark green, but if you don't, just use any dark green pencil. And what I'm going to do is darken up some of the areas of the stems and leaves that I want to look a bit darker, really. So I'm thinking this very bottom bit here, and then the edges of the stem a little bit, and it helps them look a little bit more round. And I want to just fade it a little bit towards the middle of each stem. We can always come back in later and fiddle around a bit more with it, but that's just where I'm starting really. Now you may know that I love colouring berries, but so this page I've been looking forward to. I've obviously done this one over here and had great fun, but I didn't want to sort of just rush into it and do it quickly, because I wanted to enjoy it, which is why I've picked a smaller one to start with, just to sort of warm me up and get me going really. You can see what I'm doing with the leaves. I'm thinking I'd quite like to make these pieces look a bit like they're separate, so I'm actually putting some darker green along the bottom to sort of make it look a bit like there might be some shadow where these bits of leaf are overlapping. It might look really weird, but we'll find out. This one's a little bit different. We'll put our shadow in there and at the bottom. We can add in several layers of green. We do only have 2 greens, but we can always use browns and yellows to add different tones, so there's lots of scope. I'm really liking this book, I have to say. I'm so lucky, I've got lots of Rita Berman books, and of course a new one as well. I'm putting a bit of shadow there under where this would be overlapping, so I'm not sure if that's the stem. I think that's the stem of this berry. It's a bit tricky, it's a bit confusing. That should be underneath, not on top. Never mind. So yeah, I'm feeling really spoilt and I'm enjoying her books, so that's nice, and that's why I've sort of been doing a fair bit of her things lately. Also sort of, although I've got some Johanna Basford planned I'm actually going to record some in a bit. Just trying to work out whether to do that top or bottom. I think we do it like that, along the edge of that central bit. Although yeah, I've got all sorts of things planned for video wise. I'm trying to do quite a bit in the next few weeks, and then I'll have the builders in for a month, so that's going to be tricky. I will be able to record in the evenings and at weekends, but evenings I'm often tired, so I'm going to go use my lighter green. Now this is the sharpened off green with no name. Hang about. Oh, it doesn't tell me on the bottom of the tin. I was hoping it might. It is number 41 is all I can tell you. I'm sorry. I can try and look it up, but it's this one's a slightly browny green, like a more olivey colour, which I really like, but it just works really well with the other green, which is good because we've only got the 2. So it's nice. I'm just filling in the gaps really here. Yeah, so I'm just aware that I'm just trying to get lots of videos done, and aware that it might be a bit tricky. Evenings I'm tired because I get up so early. I get tired really early as well, so I don't have much of a voice, but I will do a little bit in the evenings if something pops up. You know, sometimes people send me things or I buy things and I want to show you, so I will do those, particularly if it's something that has just been released, like when Johanna's book comes out, although that's not until October. I'm hoping I might be done by then, but we'll see. I don't know. We've already had a few delays, and it just happens. You know, with these jobs there's going to be delays. That's just the nature of any sort of work. So that's what I'm preparing for, really. And weekends, of course, I can record. I'm not always in on a weekend. And also, you know, it's family time. So we'll just see. I want to be laid back about it. I've got myself quite a lot of videos made ready. And this one will be going out mid-September, and it's actually still mid-August. So I'm nice and way ahead. And we've got the shorts videos as well to sort of fill in a little bit as well, just to give you something a little bit different. And I find some people seem to really dislike them, and some people are really liking them. And that's the nature of life, isn't it, really? You can't please everybody all of the time. So I think it's quite nice, because if you see a short and you're not keen, you just don't have to watch it. If you like them, then, you know, you can watch it. Or all my shorts are sped up versions of my old archive videos. And in the comments of the shorts, I try hard to remember to put a link to the original, so you can always go and pop along and watch the original. Maybe it's one you haven't seen for a while, or something like that, so you can go and find something different to watch if you'd rather see a sort of narrated real-time video. You know, we're all different in what we like. I personally really like watching sped up videos. I just find it mesmerising, but I know that's not the case for everybody. Okay, so there are our leaves, and I've really just done 2 layers, and I'm quite happy with how that looks. I may leave it like that. Leave the leaves. Oh, she's hilarious. I can hear you all laughing. Right, we have the berries. Now, berries can be lots of different colours. Over here you can see I was going for browns, which I quite liked. I can't remember what pencils I used for that. We can do oranges and reds, there's purples and blues, sort of not quite blue, black, like blueberries and things, all sorts of colours. Now these look a bit like blueberries to me, but I don't think we need to colour them like that if we don't want to. I'm just looking at the pencil range. If we have a look at what we've got here. Oops. So we've got a black and a couple of a normal brown, like a mid-brown orangey, like a sienna. And then we've got blues, and the purple isn't that dark. The pink, I'm not very keen on this pink, to be honest, but I use it mixed up with other colours and then it's okay. Orange and red. I don't want to do red because we've got a holly just here, and that's going to be red. I might not use this set of pencils for the other flowers either. I might mix it up a bit. I'm thinking let's go with the browns on this one, the sort of like over here, because I'm looking at those thinking, yeah, I like those. So I'm going to start with this brown. This is the reddish brown, it's called. As I say, it's a bit like a sienna brown, isn't it? I wish they put the names on the bottom, or else I'm going to just be sharpening them off. I'll have to write a list and stick them in the lid of the tin so that I can remember what they're called. I think that's the best way. I'm going to leave that white, I think. If I end up colouring it over, I can always go over with a white pen. So I'm just layering up a little bit near the bottom, because this would be darker down here. This would be shadow. I'm not sure what to do with this bit yet, so I'm just ignoring it while I think. Just procrastinate and do something else. I'm not a procrastinator really, but it just gives me some thinking time. So that's that bit. I'm going to add some more colours in a bit. I'm thinking maybe here would be a little bit darker. I'm thinking maybe this is a rim that's sticking out. I'm going to add a bit more colour on there because I sort of missed it really, haven't I? and we'll lighten it up like that. Ooh! I sharpened these pencils just before I recorded, and obviously I am pressing too hard. It's quite a good gauge, isn't it? It's like when your electric toothbrush lights up to say you're pressing too hard. Your pencil snaps to say you're pressing too hard. Now this one's in a different position, so it's slightly more, it's not going to have its shadow in the same way. So it's actually going to be darker underneath. I'm still going to make that bit a little bit lighter, just so it matches with that one. But all our darker bit would be just here. Yeah? And then lighter here. I'm not sure why you would have a dot of light there and then there and then there. I'm never quite sure. I always put the light in the same place on each one, but I could be very wrong. You know, Rita's a brilliant artist. She probably knows a lot better than I do, so I shall respect her by leaving the dots where she's put them. And this one I'm thinking darker at the bottom. Sorry, I just got to grab my hanky. As always, my nose decides to run in the middle of the video. Right, and this bit just roughly, lightly, and then darker down here and in here. Now at this point you could leave it, but I like to add a few more layers. I'm going to actually grab the black, it's just called Ivory black, any black, and do a little bit more shadowing under here, lightly, very lightly, just to darken it a bit more, because that this particular pencil, the reddish brown, isn't that dark, and I just like to emphasize that shadow a bit. You could do it in some places on the leaves as well, but I don't think that's necessary. Just these are a little bit light for my personal taste, especially in there. There's going to be quite a lot of shadow down there, yeah? So make that a bit darker. I'm actually going to darken that. I think that looks nicer being a bit darker. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to the reddish brown and just go over that and sort of blend it in. Cover it over a bit so it doesn't just look like there's black there. I want it to look more like it's brown, if that makes any sense. There we go. Now I am going to use a slightly lighter colour. Oops. I'm actually going to use this orange-ish orange. Reddish orange? What do you reckon? 211. As I say, I shall look these up. I'm going to start about halfway and just brighten this top area a bit. See how that lifts the colour? I think that looks more attractive than that. Obviously it's very personal as to what you like, but I think it just warms it. I'm not sort of doing it heavy at the top because we're going to do another colour. So yeah, I will put the, I haven't got a notepad beside me, I'll put the names of the colours in the description for you. But it's just the 12 tin, whatever's in that, but you may not have the 12 tin of course. You have a bigger tin, or you might just be using a different set. Now I'm going to do that bit, a little bit, oh this one snapped as well. These obviously don't like being sharpened too sharp. Quite brittle, but that's okay. I'm going to grab some yellow. I only have the one yellow. This is, I assume it's a chrome yellow, ohm yellow. I don't know if it's a dark or a light or just mid. No idea. Oh, snap. And these top areas, if you add some yellow, it really looks like it's catching the light and brightens them. And I'm going to add a bit to the tips of the leaves. I don't know if it will really show up, but I just like the warmth that it can add. Now I really like these koh-i-nor polycolours. I was sent them by Jennifer Delaney actually as a thank you for doing a flip through and some videos from her Microscopic Marbles book. That's really kind of her because she sent me the book. So, you know, I had a thank you before I even started, if you know what I mean. I want a bit of more dark on my berries. I'm going to grab this black again, the ivory black. I keep spinning it, I can't find the name. There we go. And I'm going to add more. Yeah, so it was really kind of her to send me these. They were on my wish list. And now I've got a bigger set on my wish list because I really like them. But I got sent some pencils yesterday actually, which I was really excited about. They were the Crayola skin tones, and I'm really scared of doing skin, like I should think many people might be. I'm just going to brush that off. I've got quite a few pencil bits, and just do a little bit more of this reddish brown, and then we'll probably be done. And so I used them for the first time when I opened the packet, when I did my unboxing. You may have seen the unboxing video. I used them on a picture which didn't have any skin in. There was a few reasons for it, but anyway, I've just been practicing it today on a picture with skin, and it was such fun, and I was so pleased with how it came out. So I put that on. I'm gonna make sure I put those pictures up somewhere so people can see them. Now I'm just wanting, I've decided I want a few more darker areas on the leaves. So I've got my black again. See here where we've got to have some shadow in there. Just going to pop a bit of black in there, a little bit along here. I'm not pressing too hard. I know I can build up my colour, so I don't want to go too mad too quickly, because then I might overdo it. I want to try and make that vein look like it's standing up a little bit, so I'm popping a bit of a shadow underneath like that. I'm going to try and do the same on this one. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. It's really sneezy at breakfast time. Actually, I've been with some people who had colds. They were really careful not to try and spread it to me, but you just don't know. I'll be fine. I can cope with a cold. I'm going to put a bit of shadow in there where those are overlapping. I'm not sure whether there should be a green bit in there, how I'm looking at it. Let's put some shadow under that stem so that you can see that it's different. I still can't work out if it's the stem of that berry or the vein of the leaf, but it must be the stem of the berry, or else what else is holding up the berry? It's just flying in the air, like that. Now, those little tiny, sorry, we've gone really off centre, haven't we? Those little tiny bits, I think, can make quite a big difference to the whole look of the page. But I'm really happy with that. I don't know if we can come in a little bit closer just for the final bit. And I'm just going to grab, oops, the dark green again. What was it called? The dark green. And just do a little more emphasis on some of the areas I want a bit darker on the leaves. I think it can just make a little bit of difference to how it all looks. You can see these pencils are rather nice at layering up, oops, and going out the lines. Actually, I don't think that's the fault of the pencil. You know me. I am not the neatest of colourists. I go with the flow and have fun. If it goes out the line, so be it. Being perfect is never my intention. I like things to look pretty. When they are perfect, I'm astounded, but they never are anyway, really, and nobody is. So I just, you know, have fun. There, I like that. Now, we could, I don't think I am going to, we could put a white shine line here, maybe here, but I think I'm going to leave it. I don't think I'm going to do that. Just a little unhappy with these lines. They haven't quite worked. So I've got my black again. I want to put a bit of shadow under them to make them look slightly more three-dimensional. I don't know if we've got enough tooth left in the paper. I think we've got a bit. You don't have to do this. It's completely up to you. I just want to make it look a little bit more like it's standing out, or it's hard to understand why they're lighter. But if you can see that they're sticking out a bit, you can then see that that's because they're slightly closer to the light source. Right, I'm going to leave it there and stop fiddling, or else I might just end up spoiling it. But that was fun. So I enjoyed myself. I hope you did. It looks more vibrant in the camera screen than it does real, which is interesting. But whether it will on your screen and once I finished editing it, who knows. But there we go. I will come back, I think, and do other ones from this page, but it's not going to be tomorrow. I've got a completely different idea for something for tomorrow. So I may just pop in and out and do bits and pieces from this page here and there. I think it can be quite fun to do it that way. I haven't done one like that. Normally I have been doing like a series where one day follows the next and whatever, but I think breaking it up a bit could be fun. And I haven't seen any of the others that I can decide what to do with yet, so that's why I've only done this one. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It does make a difference to how many people see the channel. They get to enjoy Rita's lovely book, which is always nice. And hopefully encouraged to do a bit of colouring, which is the aim, really, to help you to chill, relax and just enjoy yourself. But anyway, I hope everyone has a really lovely day and happy colouring.